Good morning friends and welcome to Sharekhan pre-market roundup. First in the global markets, the European markets when we closed were trading flattish and they remained flattish towards the end of the day also. And the American markets, which are trading a bit on the higher side when we closed, also ended on the flat note. Today there is an important data of new home sales in US, which will be coming around 7:30 in the evening. So American markets might be eyeing that. In our markets, we saw that FI as a seller again for the third straight session. However, the quantum of selling is not very high. They sold around 295 crore rupees of equity yesterday. On an overall, in last 3-4 sessions, they have sold close to 700-800 crore rupees of equities, that is cash market selling. But on the other side, FIs are buyers in index futures for last 3-4 sessions. And yesterday, there were buyers were around 400 crore rupees in index futures. That's all from our side. Now let's have an update on derivatives.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. In yesterday's trade, we have seen that markets started the session on a positive note and markets continue to trade with a positive bias. Even though markets continue to trade in a range of around 20 to 25 points. But Nifty finally snapped the session with a marginal gain of 0.19%. As we have seen that markets is languishing around at 7,300 odd levels. But in yesterday's trade, we have seen that short covering was seen by market participants as around 1.87 lakh shares were reduced in open interest and Nifty futures premium increased by approximately 13 rupees. On the other hand, we have seen that cost of carry decreased by approximately 27% and Nifty futures premium decreased by 10 rupees from 27 points to 17 odd levels. On the options front, PCR is at same level at around 0.77, but we have seen that unwinding activity taking place in both call options as well as put options. But in yesterday's trade, we have observed one thing, that 7,300 has seen reduction in open interest and activity is shifting from 7,300 to 7,400. As we can see, good number of additions were there in 7,400 call option, which is good sign for the market. In put option also, we have seen that 7,000 has seen unwinding activity taking place in 7,000 call put option strike price and activity is shifting to 7,100 put option, which is again also a good sign for the market. There are two securities in ban period today. One is Dish TV and second is Indiabulls Real Estate. Yesterday, FIs were net sellers of approximately 8 odd crores in future and option segment. A 5-day SIPWAP stands at 7258. Our lower range for the market would be 7,250 odd levels and higher range would be 7,400. As US markets closed higher and Asian markets are trading in positive and Singapore Nifty is up by 16 points, which is at 7313.50. So we may see a marginal positive opening in Indian markets. That's it from derivatives. Thank you.
Now let's have a look at some of the actionable ideas for the day. First idea is CMC. In CMC, FI limit has been hiked to 35% from previously at 24%. CMP is 1483. One can look to buy CMC with a stop loss of 1453 for a target of 1527 and 1555. Reliance Communication, China CITIC Telecom listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange is in talks with Reliance Communication to buy its undersea cable assets of the Anil Ambani-led company, spreading over around 65,000 kilometers. Arcom has set a target to raise close to 6,000 crore rupees via sale of Global Cloud Exchange, that is GCX. Action to be taken here is long with a stop loss of 136 for a target of 143 and 147. On the watch list front, you can look to go long on stocks like Tata Power, IRB, Petrol LNG, Exide and Prestige Estates. And on the short side, it is Idea, Wipro and Voltas that can be looked for a short trade. On the results front, Colgate, Palmolive is coming out with numbers. Q4 estimated earnings is 1.3 billion rupees. Engineers India 1.45 billion rupees. ITC 22.4 billion rupees. McLeod Russell 1.47 billion. State Bank of India 28 billion rupees and Sun TV 1.9 billion rupees. On the news flow front, RBI has simplified the rules for credit to exporters. They can now get long-term advance from banks for up to 10 years to service their contracts with an interest rate not exceeding LIBOR plus 200 bps. This will help exporter to get into long-term contracts and would aid in growth of the overall export performance. positive for export-driven textile players like Alok, Welspun, Arvind and Vardhaman. Reliance Industries has planned to raise close to 10,000 crore rupees in debt this fiscal to part fund its $26 billion investment plan. IRL has sought shareholders' approval for the same. SpiceJet is close to selling some of its overseas slots to Qatar Airways. Gulf carrier Qatar Airways is likely to invest in the debt-ridden SpiceJet by purchasing its parking slot overseas. On other news flow front, SKS Microfinance has for its 400 crore rupees qualified institutional placement, that is QIP, has got it oversubscribed multiple times. Credit Suisse was acting as a global coordinator and book running lead manager for the QIP. Kotak Mahindra and Espirito Centro acted as book running lead managers. That's all from our side, friends. Thanks and bye. Have a nice training session.